Welcome to 8,000 Miles Away for yet another video, And before we get started, let me just say, if our videos made you smile or made you laugh, or if you learned anything, please like, share, subscribe to the video. Like, share, subscribe to the video if it made you smile, laugh, or if you learned anything. And thank you very much, guys. We appreciate that. We truly do. All right, so today's video. But before we get started with today's video, and y'all probably read the thumbnail, so you know what the video is about. But before we get started with the video, a couple of news updates out of the Philippines I want to mention to you that are incredible. So there's just recent occurrences that are happening in the Philippines that's worth your attention. If you are interested in going to the Philippines, or if you have someone live over there, change is about. Last night or yesterday, the Miss Universe Philippines was crowned finally. A lot of people thought like me it would be Miss Iloilo that would win it, because we talked about. I did a video on her a while back ago on how impressive she was. But wow, out of nowhere, Philippines have crowned the first black Miss Universe, Chelsea Manalo, and she's out of Bulacan, and she is the first black. And more about her is because I'm obviously going to do a video about this, because that's incredible, considering the Philippines is it's the colorism there and the beauty standards, and all of a sudden now they have crowned the first black Miss Universe. Incredible news there out of the Philippines. To you is that's going on in the Philippines is the fact that the House of I don't know if they call it the House of Representatives, but divorce in the Philippines is moving one step to being a reality. It was passed by the House 126 to 109 out of 3 readings, and now it goes to the Senate. If the Senate approves it, it goes to the President, Marcos, and he will say yes or no, and that's the next step. Not sure that ever going to happen, but it did make one step forward, okay? So just stay tuned to that news. Now let me get to this video. The video of today. The video of today. If this video triggers you, then you don't have to watch it. If this video triggers you, then you don't have to watch it. Today, we're going to talk briefly about Japan's call to action to have black men have their babies, and really black women's disdain for this idea. That's what this video is about. And first, let me say this before anybody jump all over me. Say this: I don't know who started this hearsay, but Tasha K's video is the one that went viral. She's the, if for lack of a better word, she's the one that started, because nobody else's video went viral but hers. And I think the whole idea of this black men having babies with Japanese women is really, I believe, to be false. But it's interesting because, however, two things are true. One, Japan and Korea and most of Western countries are experiencing a decline in birth rate, and it's because their death rates are outpacing their birth rates. And the reason why is because women in these countries prioritize education and family, and the laws favor women. So if the laws favor women, and they are in these countries, including the United States, and they prioritize education over family, then consequently ain't nobody having no kids. And that's been going on a long time in Japan and Korea. Now, what concerns me is the black woman's thought on this issue. The black woman's thought on this issue is what concerns me, not the other misinformation that somebody put out there. I won't call no names. But their thoughts on this issue is what concerns me. And it's like the old saying, if I can't have them, nobody can. But that in itself, in this situation with black women, is paradoxical, because all they ever talk about is, we don't need you, we don't want you, go ahead and go overseas, you're dusty. And being that as it may, men are awakening up from the mental bondage that our only option is to cling to the delusional black woman and this obnoxious, shameless culture here in America. So wake up, black man. Your worth, your melanated DNA is necessary for the survival of human civilization. The meek shall inherit the earth, as they say. And platforms like mine and others like Dennis Sperling, these are a lot larger platforms, like Dennis Sperling, Andre Love Crossing Borders, Zoom Thailand, Richie Mack, Sunshine Shoulders, El Guapo, Beautiful Lies, Young Man Austin Holloman, and countless others are opening doors for younger men and brothers to say, we're not going to be trapped in a society that favors women, and we're going to free ourselves from the bullshit. That's right, the bullshit. But before I get to my reaction video of Lady Boule, the bougie one that I reacted to years ago now, in Tasha K's video, obviously, my co-host and girlfriend, Virginia, was in Robertson Mall in Locos Norte, Philippines, and she saw this. Hold tight. Now, what is that? In the mall, in her local mall, she saw a brother in the mall, just randomly. She took a pic. That's right, because that's a rare occasion in northern Philippines. And she saw him. But the thing is, guys, It's not unusual anymore. Brothers are showing up all over Asia, the Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, Japan, Vietnamese, and Cambodia. We're coming for all the reasons that we talk about in these platforms: cost of living, peacefulness, and a more agreeable cooperative partner to live out the rest of our lives with. So you're going to see that everywhere. And you know we got that swag, so you know it's on and popping when we get there, because it's about, just living a lot of life. I just think the whole thing with the American woman, in particular the black woman, is they take the black man for granted. They feel like they own us, and that's some of the things that you can see in the video I'm gonna react to with Tasha K and then Lady Boule. They just take it for granted that their property. We're their property. And that's absolute bullshit. So, with that being said, we'll get straight to the first video. Miss Boule and her won't say it, but you know what I'm talking about. Now, this is her. If you don't know who she is, a middle-aged, older black woman. They got a whole lot to say about what the brothers are doing overseas and the brothers are doing in the United States. So let's get to her video. I'm gonna go to where she begins it, and then we're gonna do a little reaction as she starts to talk about this Japan situation. So let's get after it.
Again, common sense has been sacrificed in the black community in favor of something that makes absolutely no sense. So there is a rumor going around that Japan, the country of Japan, is offering $75,000 to black men to come to the country and impregnate their women to offset the low birth rate that not only Japan, but Asia and Europe are suffering. There is a low birth rate, low fertility rate in Asia and Europe. Pakistan is the only Asian country that has a sustainable birth rate. Africa is the only continent where they're not suffering low birth rates continent-wide. So the news that Asian countries are suffering low birth rates and are desperate to raise their birth rates has made the rounds of social media. Now, I don't know how black men got inserted into this, but this is what I have discovered. Here is a headline from Business Insider: why people in Japan are being paid to have babies. You notice the headline says why people in Japan are being paid to have babies. So from the people inside Japan being paid to have more babies, that got social medialized and black men got brought into the mix. So here's another report from CNN that says a South Korean firm is offering to pay its workers $75,000 each time they have a baby. South Korea is paying its workers $75,000 each time they have a baby. And for anybody who might have a problem with context clues, the context says a South Korean firm. So unless you're working for a South Korean firm in South Korea, you're not being offered $75,000. So the content creator, Tasha K, got wind of this and decided to have a little fun with it. So here's her headline: Japan is in desperate need of more black men to sleep with their women. So you can imagine the kind of fun she had with it. I will put the link to her video in the comment section. But she had a real ball with it, and there were people commenting saying, oh yes, they really want black men because they want to be taller and stronger. Well, that's not what the headlines are saying, and that's not anything that I was able to confirm. I looked for it, because I'm like, really? So my husband's the kind of person that's like, no, that ain't gonna wash. I don't even see that happening. So I went looking for some evidence. I didn't find any evidence that anybody is offering black men $75,000 to impregnate their women. This sounds like
Okay, before she get into that and her putting down black men, she gives no accountability to the fact that Tasha K is really the person who started this bullshit rumor. Yeah, I'm coming out with it. And one who went viral with it. See, all she want to do is say she had fun with it. You know, she had fun with it. And then she's going to put down the brothers in the next part of this video about her her inability to put the blame where the blame is. Women putting out false information and her perpetuating the bullshit.
something that came from some of these guys that sit up on these live streams for 4 and 5 hours just talking all out and random and just making up stuff as they go along because they don't have anything of substance prepared to talk about to their audience. Once they finish talking about sports and black women and how awful black women are and how black men ought to try to get out of paying child support, they don't have anything else to talk about. So they're just making up stuff. So I want to make 2 points before I end this video. Number 1, white supremacy is a worldwide system. All of these countries, European and Asian countries, participate in white supremacy. And
including black women like you, who believe that the white man's rule is above everybody else's. And you use that rule to hold down the black man. It's been evident for years.
All white supremacy is,
Lady Boulay,
is that white is supreme. So in the Asian countries, they elevate whiteness. And obviously the European and America, whiteness rules. So there is no reason to believe that a country like Japan or South Korea would want their population to be darker. They don't even like the darker people in their...
Why, I just told you Miss Universe over in the Philippines is a black woman. And many black men have gone to the Philippines as well as Thailand, as well as Japan, and married beautiful black Asian women. Somebody's information is slack and bullshitting here.
Own country. So they're not going to be importing men in to impregnate their women to make a darker population. If anything, they will be offering white men, white American men, the $75,000 to impregnate their women.
Yeah, I'm sure you like to give the white men a 75 because that's where you tend to want to agree that they should be in power and get it, and we should necessarily stay here. False bullshit again.
Women. That's how obsessive people are about whiteness and the supremacy of whiteness. That's number 1. Number 2, $75,000.
Now catch this. Her pompous ass is gonna come at us, black men who make $40,000 a year or less, some of us, and say that $75,000 is not much money. Where the hell did she get this clown shit from? 75,000 times 1 baby, 2 baby, 3 baby. What is that? Come on, lady.
Is not that much money. No self-respecting black man who could think would consider $75,000 to be anything but robbery for his sperm, because he ought to think something about his sperm. And he ought to think if somebody wants it, they're going to pay me more than $75,000.
Say anything to avoid black men from opening their options and going overseas. Again, I don't celebrate the fact of going over there to have babies, but the overall picture, the larger picture of it, is black men traveling and going to see other things and meeting more cooperative women. And then, by chance of that, having babies and making, you know.
Matter of fact, if somebody wants the black man's sperm, the black man should set the price. So no self-respecting black man would even consider moving to the other side of town for $7.
Moving to the other side of town. Don't move to the other side of town.
$5,000, let alone picking up, going to a foreign country.
Of course not going to a foreign country. Stay here on the plantation, right? Boule.
But you don't even speak the language. You don't even understand.
They're learning the languages over there. You cannot flourish in a country without learning the languages. Learning the language is not something that the brothers that are serious about this are not doing. They're serious about learning the languages, and their women are serious about learning English if they don't already know it.
The culture, and you don't even know how much it's going to cost you to live there.
And that's all over, and that's false again. People who set goals know exactly what it costs to move there before they move there. Nobody's going over there ignorant and not knowing what's going on. You have not done your research on what black men and white men are doing before they go overseas. Dummy.
You're just going there for 6 months or however long it would take you to impregnate however many women they wanted you to impregnate, because they're not going to ship you over there just to impregnate one woman. So, I mean, thinking is a real skill, and self-respect is a virtue. So before people jump on these kind of idiotic schemes and scams like this, you need to think. Even if you would be willing to sell out for $75,000, because the only person who would jump on something like that would be somebody that's homeless. And Tasha K said they were wanting immigrants anyway. So you just have to hear what she had.
Shame and guilt, and again, not making accountability to Tasha K for even creating this hearsay.
Had to say to really appreciate it. But anyway, no self-respecting black man would consider $75,000 enough money to relocate to a place that he doesn't know anything about, to exchange his body fluids for somebody that he doesn't even know. I mean, people need to stop falling for foolishness.
Yeah.
That is just how I...
Well, there's her opinion. I'll stop it right there, because she's doing nothing but shame and guilt and preventing black men from going overseas. Again, I don't condone going over there just to have babies, but I do condone there to go over there and learn the culture, do a recon trip, learn the culture, learn the people, prepare for the trip, and see and exercise your options overseas, and not be stuck in a place where women take you for granted because they think they control you.